Says I'm live. Do I believe it? Do I believe that the machine says that I am live? We're just going to have to wait 30 seconds and see if I am for sure live. We don't know yet, but we're going to get there. So if you'll just chill with me for another 10 seconds while we find out why it decides at 30 seconds, I have no idea. But it's just a couple more seconds now. So thank you for your patience, my friends. All right, we're at 30 seconds. There we go. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to assume that most of you saw the beginning of this. Actually, I am curious whether you are here live or watching the replay. In the comment section down below, where did this live stream start for you? Did you hear me rumbling about how we're going to wait for 30 seconds, then 20 seconds, then 10 more seconds, and whatever? Or did you start with hello, welcome? Excuse me. Saying assume. Okay. Because I'm just curious to know how that actually works, because I did in fact get it to reset. Get it. I had nothing to do with it. It did it all by itself. The reset at 30 seconds happened. And so I was just kind of jabbering away, but I'm like, oh gosh, I'm jabbering. Is it going to end up on the live stream? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Hello, my friends. Apologies for the frog in my throat. Don't know what that's about, but we will power through regardless. Hello, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday, the hour where we get to just hang out and talk about wellness and whatever else comes up. It should be really called like Whatever Comes Up Wednesday is actually what this should be called. But I'm glad you're here to spend the next hour with me. If you have a beverage with you, did you in my info box, I did say like grab a beverage. Let me know what's your beverage. I have water. It's very, very exciting. But I might have some ginger tea later. I had some last night with a little bit of lavender syrup in it. And oh my gosh, it was so stinking good. Such a nice way to kind of tie up the night. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to chit chat with you guys this evening. I am going to do, if there are enough questions, of course, and ask me anytime type what? Ask me anything type scenario. So if you have questions that you would like to ask me, if you are here live, you can use the chat. Or if you don't want to be known for your questions, go to my Instagram account. And in my Instagram stories is that link for the anonymous link. I've got a couple of questions already in there. But if you want to share things anonymously, instead of me knowing who you are, you can do that over on Instagram. And I will answer them live in just a little bit. But first, let's see who all is here this evening. Priscilla is here with the first comment of the evening. Way to go. Hello, Lissa and Andy and Lauren and Lori. I'm so glad to see all of you here this evening. I have a summer berry Waterloo and it's strangely flat for some reason. You know, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if it was just strangely flat. I've known. So fun fact about me, I don't finish canned beverages. I don't finish any beverage if we're actually thinking about it. But truly, like I'll open, what is a can? 12 ounces. I will drink about half, maybe 3/4. Rarely do I actually finish the canned beverage. Now, one feature of a canned beverage is typically it is carbonated. So instead of like throwing the remaining quarter or a third away, I don't. I put it in the fridge for later. But of course, what happens if I just casually put the canned beverage in the fridge for later? It goes flat. So I will have fizzy beverage to begin with, and then the next time I roll around to have it, it will be flat version of the same flavor. And I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. So you're glowing. Thank you, Lauren. I don't know where that's coming from, but thank you. My skin. Y'all, I have a bone to pick with my skin. And I don't remember if we've talked about it on here or not. We talked about it a little bit when I was trying castor oil for like a hot second. And my face started like peeling. Here's the thing. My face has not stopped being so dry, literally so dry, that I cannot wear makeup. I cannot wear makeup. I do have a little bit on today because of what I've been doing to my skin. But for historical purposes, I have been chronically adult acne prone, breakouts, all of the things for years and years and years and years and years and years, right? Years and years and years. And thus a little bit more oily, a little bit more shiny. It is like somebody took the moisture meter on my skin and where it was set at like an 8, it is now at like a 2. and I don't know why. So whenever I put makeup on, especially liquid makeup, so like on days when I actually go out into the world for something other than grocery shopping or like film videos, I put like a full glam face of makeup on, right? I can't do it because you can actually see the scales, for lack of a better term. The skin is so dry that you can just see all of the dry skin, especially here and especially my forehead and even bits and pieces throughout, right? I don't know what's happening. It's but like it's making me crazy. It is infuriating to me. Why this is happening, I have no idea. So I took action. The first thing I got was I went through and I got like this. This was not planned. I just have to put this in my. I have two drawers in my beauty drawers that are like backstock, so it's like extras. Um, so I got like the Neutrogena Hydro Boost water cream as like an underneath moisturizer. It's like a baseline moisturizer because I got a sample of it in some like obnoxious. Um, Actually, I have all the stuff here now that I think about it. I got last time I went to Ulta, I got or ordered from Ulta, I got like a moisturizer like gift pack and it had like a peach and lily sample and a hyaluronic acid full size serum and like a Sunday Riley and it's all moisturizing stuff. Shiseido essential energy hydrating cream and Hope in a Jar hyaluronic glow moisturizer and oh I should bring the Kiehl's downstairs. And I started with this. I actually purchased this and this is the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. And then I got another sample. So I'm going to actually bring that downstairs. Which one do you use, Priscilla? I was going too fast. I didn't see your comment. Um, but like and this one was helping a bit. It was helping a bit. But I finally like when it got a little bit better and I was like, "Oh, praise. It's getting better." And then it got worse again. I was like I've had it. I don't know what to do. So I busted out the big guns, and the big guns were twofold. The first thing I did was place an order for Primally Pure, which is outrageously high quality but outrageously expensive skincare. At least maybe outrageously is the wrong word. It is expensive skincare. I've talked about it on here before. I really like the products. So I ended up purchasing their clarifying serum because I still have like clogged pore issues and stuff. I'm sure it's because of the CPAP machine straps that lay on my face at night. So I still have clogged pore issues, but there's absolutely no way that I can use any like regular acne products because my skin is already so dry. My skin might as well just fall off my face. So I ordered that, and then I ordered one of their newer moisturizers, which is like this antioxidant balm that is like so brightly orange that if you just let it sit on your skin, like it's fake tan orange, it's hysterical, but you really got to like get it to soak in. So I ordered that, and that came in, and then I also did like I don't know if you're even supposed to do this, but like I Googled like best moisturizers for dry, flaky skin. And the one that got like the award and like the AI generated list or whatever, it's like best cost effective, best for whatever, best for flaky skin was Aquaphor Intense Therapy. Y'all, I went out and bought some Aquaphor Intense Therapy because I was like, of course, Aquaphor saves my lips. Why wouldn't it save my face? It's like slathering freaking Vaseline on your face. It's a little bit thicker than Vaseline, but it's like that clear gel petroleum type consistency. So, have you ever heard the phrase like the uglier you go to bed, the prettier you wake up in the morning? The way that my face glistens at night now. Glistens. You oil slick. It looks like you could just slide right off my face. But today I put on a little bit, just enough to like even out my skin tone. Um Powder and it doesn't look terrible. It's so dry. I can feel the dryness. What the heck is going on? I'm literally slathering my face in beef tallow and Aquaphor, and my skin is so dry. I'm actually open to suggestions if anybody knows the magic solution to this because it's it's outrageous. So, all that to say, thank you, Lauren. I've been hydrating my skin like a crazy person the last 4 days. And so a glowing comment is greatly appreciated cuz I'm going through it with my skin. I'm going through it. Um Oh, my friends, the Blue Hydro Neutrogena one. This one, yeah. It's really, really good. And I like it. Like it was just too light. Like it felt really nice on my skin, and I had a sample of it came in my little Ulta grab bag of goodies, and I was like, oh, I should do this. And I got this on sale at Costco for like two for like $25 or something. So I grabbed that to use as like an underneath everything else moisturizer. Um, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, did you get double base? Double base for what? Maybe you can try exfoliating with a gentle exfoliator and use yeah, I need to get back on the chemical exfoliant train. I have not been doing that with any consistency. The last time I used my Dermaflash, which was last weekend, holy moly, the stuff that I was able to get off of my chin and my forehead. It was outrageous. Outrageous. But I do want to use like a chemical exfoliant to really help that. I need that needs to be a goal for September. That needs to be a September goal. Let me write that down. I knew in my brain there was like something to do with skincare. Was it just consistency and a skincare routine? No, no, it was exfoliate skin 3 times a week. That's what it was. I'm gonna start taking notes. Anyway, my friends, how are y'all? How are y'all? It is time to share your highs and lows. If you are new to the community or you are watching the replay, the highs and lows section is for you as well. Leave it in the comment section down below. But I would love to hear what has been the highlight of your life. It doesn't have to be anything crazy awesome. It can be like the littlest thing, like your cup of coffee on Tuesday was fantastic. I don't care what it is, but I want to hear about the highlight of your life for the last couple of weeks, my friends. And then if you want to share your low, I would also love to hear your low. The community as a whole likes to support and lean on one another for our lows. If you have a wellness win, something specifically pertaining to your wellness journey, I would love to hear about that. And what are you working on right now? What are you working on? I would love to hear all of yours. I'm going to catch up on comments and then I'll give you mine. Um, do 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 do. Pixie Glow Tonic is great exfoliator than maybe the CeraVe moisturizing cream. I love CeraVe. Yeah, and I've been using CeraVe for a long time too, and all of a sudden it was just like wasn't enough. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what changed in my body that was so bad. I feel like it's hormonal because my period this past month was awful. The month before, flawless. Didn't even need ibuprofen. This month, it was excruciating for 2 days. Which for some I know is not very many, but like my period as a whole lasts for like 3 days. So the fact that like 2/3 of it was just awful. Like, and I was like not about my husband either. Like I was like I was very much like I don't really care to be around you. I don't know what. I don't know what. It was just I was emotional and angry and Lord help me if I'm in perimenopause because this is going to be a really 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 long ride. Really long ride. Oh my gosh. Um my high is that it was in the 50s this morning and it is 64 now. I'm in my plush robe and I'm loving it. That is so good. And I was approved for unemployment. I love that. Use any hyaluronic acid or oil serum on wet skin before putting on any other skincare. Yes. Hi Grace, good to see you. I have a hyaluronic acid serum that I've started using from uh what's it called? Geek and Gorgeous. And I want to say that it's helping, but like I've been using that for a while and it hasn't been helping. So I don't know if it's just such a lost cause that like no like I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying all of the things. The only thing that I could do better is the chemical exfoliant. I know that. I booked a new invitation client today. Priscilla, that's great news. Congratulations. Double bases of rehydrate. Oh. Working on mindfulness, as you know. Yes, I do know that. Love it so much. My entire skincare routine is designed for dry skin, which I don't think I had, but everything else burned. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, I guess I'm a dry skin skincare girly now. Never in my life did I think that I would be a dry skin. Like, give me the most hydrating oil slick product you can possibly give me. Like I said, I'm literally slathering on Aquaphor on my face. Aquaphor, y'all. Thank God my husband doesn't love me for my looks. I mean, he does, but, like, he also looked at me and he goes, "Well, that's interesting," and kisses me anyway. He's just like, it's just so much stuff. And then I gotta put it on early enough where, like, it's kind of starting to sink in before I put my mask on. My CPAP mask. What a mess. What a mess. Um, Linda says her high is back on track after returning from vacation a week and a half ago. Low, the weight is coming off much slower than the weight I gained over vacation. I know I said this to you last time, but stop worrying about the scale. This is this is something that I wish if people who anybody who came to my channel for any reason, if you learned nothing but this, it's let go of the number on the scale. The scale doesn't matter. Here is what matters. Here's what matters. The actions that you take. That is what matters. Because here's the thing, it's not the act of getting on the scale that gets the scale to go down. The scale goes down even if you don't step on it. What gets the weight to come off? It is the actions that you take consistently day after day after day. You can not step on the scale for 3 months, but if you show up consistently in your actions every single day, the results are going to come whether or not you get on the scale to prove to yourself that it comes, right? So quit worrying. I'm not yelling at you, Linda, but I kind of am yelling at you, but I'm yelling at everyone as a whole. Let it go. Just let it go. I know, and I know it's hard. I understand. Especially generationally, the older generation is so tied to that number on the scale, for better or for worse. It is generational societal upbringing. It's diet culture. We were all immersed in it in some capacity, right? It's really hard to do. But here's the thing. The second that you actually genuinely start to let it go, and you're like, okay, what's more important? The fact that the scale only went down zero point 0.1 this week, or the fact that I showed up for myself 7 out of 7 days and stuck to my calories, bites, macros, intuitive eating, mindful eating, listening to hunger goal, that I drank all my water, that I reached all my fiber, that I increased my protein, that I got my steps in. What's more important? That the scale went down 0.1 or that you actually showed up and did the work? Because if you show up and do the work, there is a 100% chance. Okay, let's go 99.9999999% chance that if you show up and do the work, the results will follow. 99 point infinite nines% chance. Okay? So just show up and do the work. Don't worry about the results. In the manifestation community, they talk a lot about, your job is the what, not the how. Your job is the what, not the how. In weight loss, your job is the how, not the when, not the how much, right? Your job is to just show up and do what you know you need to do in order to obtain your weight loss goal, in order to obtain any goal, actually, right? I'll use YouTube as an example. Let's say that my goal is 100,000 subscribers. I'm not going out there and being like, hey, you, hit the button, you, hit the button, you, right? 100,000 times. No, I'm not doing that. What do I do to obtain more subscribers? I plan content. I film content. I edit content. I upload content. I do live streams. I post on social media. All of the actions that it takes to get me to that ultimate goal has nothing to do with me directly getting to that ultimate goal. But the result of my actions will result in progress towards that goal. Does that make sense? Super, super important differentiator. But don't worry about the scale. The scale is the least interesting thing about you. It's not like you're wearing on your wrist, losing vacation weight slowly. I picture The Sims, right? The Sims have like the little things over their head that like tell you their mood and whatever. And then like when you interact with somebody, there's like a little plus, 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 or minus, minus, minus if you get angry at the person or whatever. There's not something that says, plus 5 pounds this week, minus 0.2, little sad face. Nobody knows. And I guarantee you, nobody sees the vacation weight except you. And here's the thing. I would almost bet that you don't see the vacation weight either, and you wouldn't even know it was there if you didn't step on the scale. I would actually put money on that. I would actually put money on that. Y'all liking that I'm just like, you got me fired up when I'm waving things around at you. I should put this pen down before I poke an eye out, namely mine. Oh my goodness gracious. Lori, I had all my kids home from the 9th until Sunday. My youngest stayed until this morning. We are back to the empty nest. True retirement has started. We walked for 30 minutes this morning. I hope you had the greatest time with your family, Lori. That is such a cool thing that you get to do. And I'm so excited that you got to do that. Happy official empty nester retirement. I'm so excited to see where this season of life takes you. Paulette is here. Hello, Paulette. My hi, the city psychologist is actually taking me seriously now. That's always good when you have doctors that take you seriously. My base routine is simple. La Roche-Posay moisturizing cleanser. That's in my shower. CeraVe lotion. That's in my drawer. And Pipette Mineral sunscreen. I am not as good about wearing sunscreen as I should be. But other than that, both the cleanser and the lotion have ceramides, which are supposed to help and repair the moisture skin barrier. Yeah. Here lies Lissa. She weighed X pounds. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm so bad at it. And here's why. This is a total cop out reason, but here's why. And this is going to change because I need to. Things happening in my life. There's so much happening in my life. I want to, and I've said this a million times before, but I kind of got my husband involved. So now I really kind of have to toy with it. We were having the conversation today about jobs and income and whatever, and a lot more that goes into it. But I basically told him how much more difficult it was for me to create content. When my YouTube channel was like at its peak, he was gone all the time. And so like the amount of like housework I did was much more condensed and much less and much because I didn't have to. There's a lot less housework when you're living alone. A lot less housework. And so we were just at a brief conversation and I was like, look, this is not a full-time job for me because I literally cannot put in full-time hours and accomplish everything that needs to happen around the house. Long story short, he was like, well, put together a business proposal that will help you get to more full-time hours and have everything in the house still running smoothly. All of that to say, I want to work on a more specific schedule and like actually do an experiment of like if I took 1 month, like the month of September, and like actually went full-time job on Diva and the Divine, what would that look like? What would my schedule be like? But for now, my schedule is so I get up, I'm morning routine. Sometimes I do housework first. Sometimes I run upstairs and do some of this first. I don't put on like my morning skincare until after I work out and shower, which sometimes isn't until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then by then, I'm sitting there going, well, is it really worth putting SPF on when I'm not even going to leave the house the rest of the day? So there is just so much, or I will go, okay, let me slap on some SPF first thing in the morning, but then I'm going to go work out and have to wash it off again and then just reapply it. I know they're really lame excuses, but this is what happens in my head. The SPF never seems worth it to me unless I know, like, I'm going, oh, I didn't even wear sunscreen on Sunday, did I? No, I sure didn't. We ended up spending a lot of time outside on Sunday and didn't realize we were going to, so I didn't have sunscreen on after church or like for church. And we went straight to our small group leader's house from church and spent a couple hours outside. That's on me. Usually when I know I'm going to be outside, I put it on. I'm so bad at it. That should be another goal. So, y'all just keep the goals coming. Sunscreen every day. Okay. Yes. And you, Priscilla, have permission to pop on Polo and yell at me randomly and be like, did you wear your sunscreen today? My mother-in-law is on the phone. Hopefully I'll be back. A good moisturizing sunscreen might help. It is another way to add moisture and protecting your skin will help with the UV-related moisture loss. Yep. Not only should you wear it every day, but you should reapply every 2 hours. Well, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty that is not something I'm going to do. Not on my face anyway, especially on days that I wear makeup. There is no way I'm reapplying my sunscreen. That's for sure. Now, when I'm like outwardly in the sun, Like beach day, yes, I absolutely reapply my sunscreen, especially if I get wet or if I start to feel I have been blessed with the skin that doesn't burn, it tans. I have that kind of skin that like people like my husband hate me for because like I can be out in the sun all day and they'll be like, "You're burned." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And if I do burn, it's gone by the next day. Like my skin doesn't burn. Oh, except when you burn yourself on the oven, like I did. That burn, that burn happened. Um, but so like like outwardly beach day, if I feel my skin start to be like, she needs a little extra protection, I'll put that on. Absolutely. When we go out on my small group leaders boat, I absolutely put on the sunscreen, all of those things. But like the day to day on the made up face, that is what I struggle with. That is what I struggle with. And to be fair, all signs point back to going back to that skincare brand that my esthetician, my facialist had me on. She had me on a morning moisturizer that was also a sunscreen. Yes. Yes. Then you wash your face and reapply it at something. It's true. It's true. I need to get better about that. Y'all are just gonna keep adding things to my list, and I'll tell you what the list is for in a moment. But oh my goodness, you're right. You're all right. I'm telling you, you're all right. Can help protect your skin from blue lights, and you can still experience sun damage indoors. I know I can. Although not in this house because my husband doesn't let the windows be open when the sun is out anymore because it gets so hot in his office that he keeps the sun out all the time. So there's not actually much sun coming in my house, honestly. But anyway, I digress. I digress. My high, I have a lot of highs. Life has been good lately. Unfocused, but good. But you can't be perfect at everything. Don't I know it? Don't I? Girl, I am perfect at exactly nothing. I am perfect at exactly nothing. Zero. I am perfect at zero things. Zero things. And that's okay. I've accepted that about myself. So there's that. Um, what was I gonna say? My high is I went to the eye doctor today. Not like the specialist, but like just to get a new uh contact lens prescription and get new glasses for the first time in literally forever. Like maybe 10 years because I only wear my glasses for like the last 15 minutes of the day and like the first 15 minutes of the day, if that. If that. Um, and I got such a good deal. I walked out with like $800 worth of stuff for like $396. I got new glasses with like blue light blockers for when I'm sitting in bed with my phone or watching TV. My glasses prescription was like, I'm blind as a bat, by the way. My new glasses prescription was like a -10, and my old glasses were like a -7. And so she's like, no wonder you can't see out of your current pair of glasses. Oh gosh. And I just left feeling like, gosh, this is so good. I feel like I've accomplished something very good today because I've got my whole year of contact lenses coming. I got new glasses for the first time in like a decade and a half, and everything is hunky dory. It feels good. My low is that I can't cook while I'm on my period because things like this happen. Burned myself on the open oven, and I also tried to take off my knuckle with a vegetable peeler. So I've learned that like day 1 of the period, not the day to do things in the kitchen. Don't do that. Bad things happen. Um, so there's that. So there's that. Thankfully, it didn't really blister. So like I didn't burn myself badly, but I mean, it's still pretty bad. Um, so that happened. My wellness win is that I got a new toy for my core, which you'll hear about in a different video in a couple of weeks. I'm testing it out for y'all. Um, but it actually works. And I'm really annoyed that it actually works. And so I have a nice sore core. Like I've been working out my core and it's been going very, very well. And my working on it is all of the reasons that I need you to keep giving me goal things. I have decided, and there's going to be a whole video on this as well, but I know there's also a small subset of you that watch my live streams. So thank you if you're one of those people and you get to hear about things first. We being the people in my Diva District membership, are doing what I have lovingly coined as an Enneagram 9 Sloth Buster 75. AKA 75 hard-ish, medium soft, however you take your eggs, scrambled, whatever. The 75-day challenge. is what we're doing. And and it starts on September 1st, and that means the day 75 is November 14th, which is my birthday. So it's like the most perfect day or the most perfect period of time to do Slothbuster 75. I'm calling it Slothbuster because I have been in sloth mode for like a long time. And part of it has been really good because I've been learning to lean into rest and quiet and stillness and all of the benefits that come with that. But in the Enneagram, if you're somebody who's into the Enneagram 9's primary weakness, which is what I am, is sloth, which is inaction. And I don't know if I can find it. Hang on, where's my journal? Oh, it's been a couple days, but I think I wrote this down in my journal. I was journaling about something, and then I literally stopped in the middle of it to see what YouTube had to say. Here it is. Here it is. About like how to get out of sloth specifically, not just like laziness, because like sloth isn't just laziness. It's like laziness elevated. And I found a YouTube video that was a fellow Enneagram 9 talking about sloth. And some of the one-liners from her video that made me go, ouch, were, we will stay busy doing all of the things that are easy to avoid doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like in life, what we're supposed to do. So we'll do and like on the day to day, I will avoid making the phone call like a plague, and I will do everything else around it. I will do everything else that is easier to achieve because then I've done the things. Look at all of the 25 things that I've done today when there was one specific thing that I was supposed to do that I did not do. So that hurt. It is staying asleep to my dreams and desires. And then this one, I put this in a different color because it made me go, ouch. Sloth is saying no to the endless possibilities and potential that God has for us. Ouch. Literally the next thing I wrote was ouch. Big ouch. So like sloth runs deep. Sloth runs deep, and my Enneagram 9 nature is fully immersed in sloth and all of that. That sounds like me, but I have no clue what Enneagram I am. I highly recommend toying with finding out what Enneagram you are. I love the Enneagram, and it's funny because at my church, literally every person I've ever asked knows their Enneagram number. It's like, in order to be a member of Wooddale, you need to know your Enneagram because the Enneagram is a Christian-based thing. But it was just so funny to me because like every person I have asked since joining Wooddale has known their Enneagram number as soon as I've asked. Even our new music minister, I sat down and had coffee with him to get to know him a little bit, and he brought up a question. He asked me, what was it? Are you a leader or a follower? Are you an owner or a follower? And I said, well, it's funny that you ask me that because I'm an Enneagram 9. And then he looked at me and went, I'm an Enneagram 9 as well. And like, it's just free flowing information what our Enneagrams are. It's just so funny to me. Is there an official Enneagram website? There's a couple of them. There's one that's like the Enneagram Institute. Oh, which one is the one that I've used? Enneagram. And there's like one that like the test costs money. Enneagram personality test is one, and Truity. Enneagram Universe is what I use, I believe. I believe that's the one I've used. Let me grab the link for y'all. I just popped things in Google. But as for everything, and I even said this advice to my husband the other day who was taking the StrengthsFinder test. I was like, remember, answer the questions as you actually are, not as the version of yourself you wish you were. So really think about like, okay, maybe I want to answer this way, but who am I really? Like down to the wire, how would I actually respond to this? It's so interesting. But I learned I'm an Enneagram 9 by the test, and then I read the book to confirm it. And the more I read it, the more I was like, yeah. And here's the thing. Here was a tip that I got from somebody about like how you know your Enneagram is the right one is that you kind of get offended when you read about it. You're like, no, that's not me, but it actually is you. And so you take offense to the fact that this test is calling you out. That was me. That was me with the Enneagram 9. But now I fully embrace the Enneagram 9. It's actually great to be an Enneagram 9. But the Enneagram 9's core weakness is sloth. And boy, do I feel that on a daily basis. So I went ahead and I was like, okay, literally what in two different things. I was like, I need a word. I'm starting a new planner for September, the Daily Grace Planner. I think I told you guys about this, and now there's a video walkthrough on my channel if you want to look. I have it linked down below. But this I wanted a word for the quarter that this planner is going to be representing. And I was like, well, what? Well, it's not progress. It's not. And I was like, action. I think the word I'm looking for is action. And then just to like have a like an affirmation, I was like, well, let's see. What does thesaurus.com say that the antonym, the opposite of sloth is? And the first word that came up was action. So, action is now, oh, look at that. The virtue of the 9 is right action. Look at that. Look at that. That's literally that that is so validating, Lissa. Thank you for telling me that. Because literally everything in my body right now is screaming, just take action. Just do it. In everything that you want, take action. Which is how the Slothbuster 75 was born, with a little bit of aid from my Discord channel group. Grace chimed in and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing like a 75 something or other. And I was like, hey, you know what? Me too. And then someone else was like, hey, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. And it was like a unanimous decision that we should be doing something like this. So my group is going to be doing Slothbuster 75, or whatever name they decide to coin it, starting on September 1st. If you would like to be part of the group that does this, you have to join the Diva District, which is $10 a month, but it is worth it. We have such a good time in the Discord channel, hanging out, chatting, giving each other advice, all of the things. It's a really, really great time. The link to join that is down below if you are interested. It's a lot of fun, y'all. It's a lot of fun. And if you do join, shoot me a message and let me know so I can help make sure that you get into the Discord channel like you're supposed to. Because that's where really everything takes place, is in the Discord channel. So we're doing that. And so I'm sitting here going, okay, I want Slothbuster 75 to be like 75 hard, but better. But better. So what things are attainable yet challenging? What actions are actions that will make me make progress towards my goals, any and all of my goals, and also make sure that I grow in emotional health and spiritual health and mental health and all of these things at the same time. And so I'm making sure that as I pick through things, and I haven't solidified what I want yet, but I have started brainstorming. So, for example, some physical goals might be 10 flights of stairs every day, because I need to get back to some basics for like just training my body. And I realized, like, if I just walk up and down the stairs, guess what? My legs hurt. I'm disabled. Stairs are hard. Why don't I just focus on doing stairs instead of being like, why am I not doing squats? Do the freaking stairs. It'll work the same. Using my vibration plate, which is supposed to come tomorrow, every single day. Good old fashioned 10,000 steps. Why? Because it works. Why raise? Because it works. If you know that joke, you know. And like for following a diet, I'm thinking about tracking my fiber intake just to make sure that like consistently I'm getting at least my 25 grams of fiber, drinking 120 ounces of water every single day, spending time in the Word of God every single day, praying regularly, multiple times a day. All of these things, like, so you see how like it's little different things, sticking to a schedule. So maybe like butt in office chair by 10 o'clock. And then the skincare things, like exfoliate 3 times a week, wear sunscreen every single day, things like that. So like it's a little bit of everything. But the whole point, like the 75 hard, is I have to do the things, whatever they are, every day for the 75 days. So from September 1st until my birthday. And oh my goodness, how much progress could be made if we did the same things consistently every single day for 75 days. Progress in everything, in all of the things, right? I'm not just talking about like physical fitness, but like it's all the things. Oh, reading a book is also one of the things. Um, a Discord is a like a gaming chat platform, but like you don't need to be a gamer to use it, type of thing. Da, 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 da. I love the Enneagram talk and research. One of my goals for 2024 was to cultivate equanimity, the virtue of Enneagram 4. Yeah, and I also find the Sleeping at Last podcast episodes on the Enneagram helpful or insightful. I was asked to take a test where I am now to where I want to be. They did not like the answers. Um, I'm planning on picking some goals and doing a slightly easier version for September, i.e. if my goal for the end of the year is 10,000 steps, I'll aim for 8K in September. Yeah, and that works too. And here's the joy of being a member of my group, y'all. There's fluidity, there's flexibility. You do what Lissa's goals are going to be very different from what my goals are going to be. But the construct we are doing together. Which is really, really cool. I really want to shift into quarterly planning. I'm so excited about using this planner. I'm so excited about it. And then I might already have my annual planner sitting right there. It's right there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm going to do a whole video on things once I solidify what my Slothbuster 75 is, but my goal, my virtue, is that what you said? What you called it? Virtue of the Enneagram 9 is right action. I need to look into that. I'm going to write that down. Enneagram 9 virtue. There's my my search results so I can look at that later, because I want to see what advice they have for people looking to grow in that area, because that is exactly what I want to be doing. And it makes so much sense that that's what I want when that's my virtue. mm, 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 mm. Oh, Lissa, you have no idea. You have no idea how pretty those are. You have no idea. That may or may not be the 2025 Power Sheets. Get your hearts ready, because, oh my gosh, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. They're beautiful. Okay, let's transition into Ask Me Anything. Let's chit chat about whatever the heck you want. No question is too random. My life is an open book within reason, of course, but like really, I'll pretty much tell you all whatever you want to know. Get your little chit chat and things. By things, I mean fingers, phalanges, typing away. I'm going to check in with the Instagram question and see. All of a sudden I have all of these messages that I did not have when I started. Where is the little doohickey that see, I use doohickey authentically, y'all. I answered this one on Enneagram because I thought it was a really interesting question to ask me. But someone asked me, are you watching the DNC? No, I am not. I do have a friend who is actually at the DNC tonight, but no, I'm not. I get all of my political information from Sharon Says So. And because I do not have the mental and emotional bandwidth to deal with the political everything. I just don't. So if you look on TikTok, everybody has some sort of political opinion and is spreading misinformation. And I saw a really interesting reel from my old church in Chicago today that talked about like he started with like, who are you voting for? Just kidding. I don't care who you're voting for. But he talked about briefly, I had to remember the verbiage. He reminded us that one of the 10 commandments that like is the rule we're all supposed to live by is thou shalt not bear false witness, which includes spreading misinformation. I was like, oh snap. And there's so much misinformation out there, and so many people post it willy-nilly that I just flat out refuse to get my political information from anybody but Sharon Says So, because I trust her. So, no, I'm not watching the DNC. Occasionally, I turn on the debates. I turned on the Trump Biden debate. I immediately regretted it, but I couldn't stop watching because you can't stop watching train wrecks. Um, but so I will occasionally turn on the debates. But like, no, no, not going to do that. Not going to do that. Um, an interesting question though. Da, 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 da. I've been brainstorming ideas for 2025 and I'm pretty sure I have a plan and I'm super excited. There better be vlogs for this challenge. Oh, 100%. 100%. Um, really what do. I've recently realized I'm an HSP, which makes much more sense now why I can't handle politics, debating, and all that stuff. What's an HSP, Priscilla? And I mean, I guess you don't have to tell me now, tell me later. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to know what that means. I can't do politics. And another trait of the Enneagram 9 is they can see all sides. They can see all sides. There is not, but rarely is there an argument that I'm like 100% undoubtedly this person is right. I'm not like that. I am a all sides count, all sides matter, and it's a lot more nuanced and a lot more fluid than black or white. That is just how my highly sensitive person. Okay. Um that's just how my brain is wired. That's how my brain is wired. So any and all conflict, hate it. Hate it. Don't like it. Don't like making decisions cuz both choices are reasonable most of the time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, oh, that's funny. I just saw this question. Have you seen the new power sheets? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And they're right there. And they're amazing. They're amazing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to share them with you guys. Um, being able to see all sides and being able to see the bigger picture in things is my go-to answer when I'm asked for my strength for a daycare job interview. Yeah, yeah, it's a great strength. It's a great strength. And you know what's funny? And now that I haven't been on a job interview in years, but like, what is my greatest weakness? Now I actually know. Like, I can, because it's one of those things that like I could never like. Obviously, it's not that I didn't have weaknesses, but I didn't know how to verbalize what my weakness was. In terms of like, especially like, I don't know, collegiate interview. What's your biggest weakness? I don't know. I do. It is in fact sloth. That is my biggest weakness. And I'm just like, "Oh, it's relieving to actually have a name to put to that, you know, to be able to act." Melissa, why didn't I answer that way my entire life? For those that aren't looking at the chat, she said my triceps, which is absolutely 100% true. There is zero muscle function in my tricep muscles. Literally, I have the test results to prove there was like no electro anything happening in there. They are dead. They are dead. Um, oh, that would have been such a good answer for job interviews. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So good. Um, and then the final question I got submitted for Instagram. So get your questions ready, y'all. Um, what are 3 things you wish you knew sooner in life? Ooh, ooh. That's a really good question. What are 3 things I wish I knew sooner in life? One, that the weight doesn't matter and diets don't work. That would have been really helpful. And also about like living intuitively and not overeating and emotional eating and all of those things. Like that as a whole, like if I knew, even if I'd known after I hit my goal weight before, if I had known about intuitive eating and how there are no such thing as good foods and bad foods, and I'm not a sinner for eating a chocolate cupcake and going over in my points, my life, my body would look completely different. It would look completely different. I believe that with all of my heart, but I didn't know better. I didn't know better. And if I had known better, everything would be different. Everything would be different. Two is that the people who you think are popular and or who are popular and fabulous and skinny and whatever in high school aren't always going to stay that way, and so don't worry about it. And 3, what is something else that I wish I had known sooner? Um I guess this is one thing that like I've always known, but also it's very beneficial to be reminded. And in my older age, in the last 15 years, I would say, really when, and maybe even 10 years, most often 10 years, is that pray. Pray a lot, pray often. And it doesn't have to be some sort of like methodical um religious, for lack of a better term, but rigid, like this is how you do it. It's a conversation, and the power in sitting and listening and praying and giving your everything to God. Every worry, every worry. Here you go. It's not mine. It's yours. Here you go. The power in that. I've been doing that a lot lately, y'all. And mentally, sloth notwithstanding, like I'm in a great place mentally. So good, so good. So that's something I wish I had understood, the gravity of being able to lean on that earlier in life. So really, really good questions. Really good questions. Does anybody here live have any question that they would like to ask me? Plus, this is one of my wins, is that I finally registered for one of New Jersey's Walk for CMT events. Yay! If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? That's a really good question. It's a really good question. And it's funny because my husband and I talk about this on and off randomly, because we joke about sometimes leaving the country. But on a It's so hard to say, and this is the whole Enneagram 9, I can see all sides, right? Logical side of me. Like in the United States, if we knew with 100% certainty, like if we could just plunk a full community of friends and whatever in any place, and knew with 100% certainty that we would thrive where we landed, we would pick I would pick North Carolina, because it's beautiful there. There are 4 seasons there. It is equidistant from both of my families, and it's lovely. It's lovely. 4 seasons, not too cold in the winter, not too much snow in the winter. Fantastic. But also, the more I live in Minnesota, the more I'm like, as long as I can snowbird, Minnesota. I love Minnesota. And I love the family that we have created here. We don't have any biological family here, but the family that the good Lord blessed us with in our small group, which is a group of people that never, ever would have gotten together otherwise, it's incredible. Like the family we have made here is absolutely incredible. And so part of me is like, well, Minnesota, because Minnesota's actually perfect. Minnesota's actually perfect. But also, there are a lot of places I haven't been, so I can't tell you I would live there or not. But I feel like somewhere in the Mediterranean, like Italy or Greece, would be lovely. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's a really hard question. Truly. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? Whoa. Whoa. Um, I feel like probably 150 years into the future. One, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see it. And like, I'm going to see what's going to happen in 10 minutes and 10 minutes. And so, like, if I had a power like that, it would be really cool to be able to just see what's going to happen. You know, has everything burned to the ground? Are cars flying yet? Did we cure cancer? All of these things. Like it'd be really cool to see things that I would otherwise not be able to see. Whereas the flaw in being able to see 10 minutes into the future is, if something was inevitably going to happen 10 minutes into the future, you would spend the next 9 minutes trying to figure out how to change it. And what if you saw 10 minutes in the future that a loved one was going to have a heart attack and you couldn't change it? What would you do? Is that worth, like, you know, you know? That's a very similar, well, kind of. There's a more morbid version of this question that I actually heard on the Pod Meets World um podcast, which is the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast. One of them asked, and it's the podcast people are Danielle Fishel, who played Topanga, Ryder Strong, who played Sean, and Will Friedle, who played Eric Matthews. And 10 minutes is more useful while 150 years is more interesting. 100%. The question that they posed one day was, would you rather know when you were going to die or how you were going to die? Which is a really interesting question. And I'd love to hear your guys' answers. So quick type them before I explain like the mindset behind some of it. But I don't think I'd want to see into the future because temptation to mess with things would be too great. If you were to move to Paris, which Paris would you choose? Paris, France? Is there a Paris in the United States? I feel like there is, and I don't remember where it is. Um, or what if you're seeing it leads to you taking the actions that actually cause it. Right, right. So with the Paris, Texas, thank you. Yeah, I'd probably choose France over Texas. I don't know. I'm terrible at making these decisions. But so the logic behind the would you rather know how or when? Um, I think they figured out as a group that they would probably prefer when. Because if you knew how, the anxiety around an activity, like if you knew with 100% certainty that you were going to die in a car crash, how terrified would you be to ever leave your house in a car ever again? What kind of life would that be? Where at the very least, if you knew when, if you knew that you were going to die on October 31st, 2072, right? You knew what you needed to get done by then, who you needed to hang out with before then. And then the day rolls around and you're like, well, it's my last day. Let's party. Let's go. You know what I mean? Because then, yeah, like Lauren said, I'd get done what I wanted to get done and plan for all my loved ones before then. Exactly. But like the anxiety that would come with knowing how. Because yeah, maybe it could be you get ill and it's a, whatever. And like that would be fine to know, I suppose. But also, like, what if you fall off a cliff next time you go hiking and hiking's your favorite hobby? Or not even next time. Like at some point, you're going to fall off a cliff and die. And all of a sudden, your favorite hobby is taken away from you, right? Like, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? So it's an interesting question. It's the same thing with like the 10 minutes into the future versus the 150 years. The 150 years for me is not something that's going to directly impact my life, right? Whereas the 10 minutes into the future, if I can see something horrible happening to me, or someone saying something mean to me, or something going wrong, or something going wrong for a loved one, that would impact me. And it would be debilitating, especially if in that 9 minutes leading up to minute 10, I couldn't do anything about it. That would be horrible. Um, but that's just my opinion. Someone could have a completely different opinion. Yeah, but what if you're going to die from heart disease? Then you could take better care of yourself. No, you would die from it regardless. If for the purpose of this question, if it told you you were going to die of lung cancer, it wouldn't matter if you smoked a day in your life or not. You were still going to die of lung cancer. That's the point of the exercise. If you knew for sure what was going to kill you. So there's no way to change it. If it's heart disease, there you go. There you go. Okay, yeah, I don't want to know how. I think that's exactly how I feel too. I'd rather know when than how. I would want to know when so I could prepare well. Yeah, it's such an interesting question, isn't it? One of the and this was the opener to a episode recap on Boy Meets World. They always get into like the most random conversations beforehand, and one day it was just that question, and I was like, well, excuse me, that's an odd way to start a recap of a kids and teenage show from the 90s. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh my goodness. All right. I've got time for one more question. One more question. Make it a good one. Make it a good one, my friends. Or don't. You're going to drown, so you would avoid large bodies of water and then end up tripping and falling face first in a shallow puddle and drowning there. Exactly. Exactly. And you would spend your whole life not navigating towards the water, which is a spectacular thing to look at. So, yes, for sure. Any plans to get a second dog? Not at the rate Gracie's going. I would love to get a second dog, but there would have to be two major things that happened before we did that. One would be we moved to a house with a yard, and two would be to get my husband on board because he ebbs and flows. But right now, he's definitely in the flow part or the ebb part, whichever part is less so, because Gracie has been, and I think we figured it out, but lately she has been peeing in his office. And by lately I mean she's done it like twice in the last like 3 days, but then she's done it before. And like in that vlog that I posted with my friends in the vlog, right? Where we were also testing the pet spot cleaner when we cleaned up a spot in his office that was there from her previously. She went and she peed in the same spot. And and she does it in the morning when we're like, I'm downstairs in my recliner reading, he's upstairs in the loft doing his quiet time. And I don't know if she waits until both of us are in the bathroom or what, but she goes into his office and he comes into his office and he's like, she peed on the floor. And it's never much. And so we figured out, first of all, she also has been having anxiety, like going to the bathroom in the morning. Like she just doesn't want to do it. And I'm like, I know you have to pee. You were in your cage for almost 9 hours. Like you have to pee, go potty. And she just stares at me. And then she pees for like 2 seconds, not emptying her bladder. And then 10 minutes later, she'll have an accident somewhere because she didn't empty her bladder. And we're just like, what is going on? We took her off her meds. We're wondering if we should put her back on her meds. But it was the peeing in the office that really got us thinking. Because he texted me the same day and he was like, she buried. Gracie likes to bury things now, which is definitely also something she started doing a lot more since we took her off her meds. But she buries toys in his office, like under his desk. And I finally looked at him and I was like, do you suppose she's trying to claim you? Like you removed the spot that marked her territory, so she marked her territory again. And she's trying to get your attention in the only way that she knows how, because trying to play with you isn't working. He could not care less about the dog. He really couldn't. In like if she was like sick or injured, like he would care, like as you would when you see an animal, but like on the day to day, he's like, I'm not the one that wanted a dog. I really could do without her. So she's mine. But all Gracie wants is his love and affection. And so finally I was like, do you think that like maybe if you started giving her the love and attention that she wants from you, she'd stop trying to get your attention this way? Maybe she's trying to tell you that, hey, you're mine. You're my daddy. And she doesn't know how else to do it. So she's going to pee on your floor because she doesn't pee in my office. She lays in my office, but she doesn't pee in here. She's never peed in my office ever. Um, so right now, Gracie is giving us a run for her money. Gracie Marie. Maybe she's saving her pee so she can get your attention. Yeah, exactly. I'm almost positive that's what it is. I'm almost positive that is what it is. If you had a magic wand, what would your second spell be? See, I'm in Harry Potter spells right now, and I don't know. If I had a magic wand, like if I had, I would make so much use out of having magical spell powers. If I had a magic wand, like the spell I would probably use the most, honestly, would be Accio and Wingardium Leviosa. Why? Because I can't reach things. I can't lift my arms up over my head. How cool would it be for me to be able to wave a wand and reach the cup on the top cabinet shelf? Top cabinet shelf. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. I regularly wish I could be like, Accio, thing I left downstairs, and it would just fly to me. Wouldn't that be spectacular? How much would my quality of life improve if I could just make things come to me and float things down and up to shelves? Oh my gosh, life would be amazing. There's an account I follow on TikTok, and they have a cat whose favorite person on the account is the owner's husband. Dave only loves Jackson. He has no use for not Jackson. 100%. Well, no, that's not. I was going to say that's how Gracie is too, but it's not. Gracie loves Mama in her very own way, and I'm very important to her for very different reasons than Daddy is important to her. I'm convinced that Daddy's only important because he doesn't want her. So it's like this toxic relationship, right? And the poor girl is just trying so much to earn the love of the man she cannot have, right? Totally a toxic relationship. Whereas she knows I am valuable to her. I control the treats. I'm the one who plays with her. I'm the one who makes sure she's fed. I'm the one who does all of the things for her. So she knows my value, and she's sad when I'm gone. And she's very happy when I return. But if Daddy and I are in the same room, I don't matter. I just don't matter. Would you rather sweat maple syrup or cry strawberry? Oh my gosh. I would rather cry strawberry jam. And here's why. I work out every day. So sweating maple syrup, even a little bit, would be disgusting. It would be delicious, but it would be disgusting because how sticky would I be literally all the time? Or like if you get a little bit toasty, like, okay, now my underarms are sticky. Hard pass. Hard pass. I don't cry very often. So like it's not like the strawberry jam is gonna be like free flowing out of my face. And if it is, I'll make toast. If I'm crying, I'll just make some toast. Right. Um, but the maple syrup, oh no. Oh no. Sticky. I'd be so sticky. Um, I'd be gross constantly. I sweat like crazy. Yeah. So all you'd be is just sticky, and the bees be a buzzing. Oh yeah, and not to mention the bugs. Let's not even think about the bugs. Oh. If you had kinetic powers, how many things would you move and why? Everything. I would move everything because I can't reach things in the top cabinets. So I would be able to rearrange my entire house, all of my furniture. If I got bored with how my bedroom looked, I could just change things around. And then if I didn't like it, I could just change it back and have it all happen before my husband even realizes it happened. That would be cool. That would be very cool. What a fun way to end this chat. Is now thinking about my pretend magical powers. That would be amazing, my friends. All right, I ran a little bit over, but that's okay. I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so much for being here. As a friendly reminder, we are now on an every 2-week schedule, so I will not see you for live stream next week, but the following week, be here or be I don't have a good word. Be there or be square, y'all, because that's the best thing I've got. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will talk to you all in 2 weeks. Bye, guys. Be here or be sticky. Yes.